All right, what is up? We are live. A little bit of stuff to cover before we jump into the chat. Of course, the big one today being we got some Budweiser, Dale Earnhardt Jr. number 8 news. Didn't know it would be quite as big a story as it has become. I didn't know it meant like I guess as much as it was going to mean to people. I don't know if that's just part of just doing this every day and getting jaded a little bit. But when the news broke, a lot of people cared about it. Huge in the Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan community. But of course, let's get to the news first before we get into all that. Teresa Earnhardt, of course, owned the trademark to the number 8. So to the font of the number 8 that Junior ran. Junior obviously ran the 8 in the Xfinity Series after he retired at JRM. But it wasn't the same font. Teresa owned the intellectual property to that, and recently she let that intellectual property, that trademark, she just let it go. And because she let it go, Dale Jr. was able to purchase that particular intellectual property, and now he has the font for that number 8. So the big question became, okay, when does he actually going to be able to use the property? And when he gets the property, what is he going to be able to do with it? And we find out that he is going to run it on November 23rd at Florence, South Carolina, and it's going to be on a late model. And that's kind of big news. But the bigger news is the sponsor that is coming back with him. Because, of course, when he came to the Cup Series, his sponsor was Budweiser. He ran the Budweiser car in the Cup Series. And that was a huge deal for sure. So his first sponsor in the Cup Series, now the first sponsor back with the same font, number 8, in the late model series is going to be Budweiser. Also, car looks amazing if you haven't seen it yet. So pretty cool to just sort of put a bookend on it as far as that goes. But it is a big deal to people. And part of the reason it is a big deal to people is because some of the nostalgic feelings you have with that Budweiser car. 17 wins at DEI, most, if not all of them, with that Budweiser scheme or a alternate scheme, but also Budweiser on the hood of it. And of course, the biggest one being the 2001 Pepsi 400, Firecracker 400, whatever you want to call it, Coke 400, whatever it was back then. He wins that race the same year that he lost his dad. So, and that was a special paint scheme when he won that one as well. And then, of course, the Daytona 500 in 2004, he won in that as well. And then, you've got the other 15 or so wins he's got in the Budweiser car. So a lot of great memories, a lot of things flooding back for a lot of people. So huge news as far as that goes. Like, I underestimated it. Some people actually had told me about it at Wilkesboro. They said, don't say anything about it. But he's gonna bring that car back. So I was like, okay. I mean, at the time I was like, okay, no problem. I don't think I think it'll be, at the time I was like, it'll be kind of a big deal, but I didn't think it would be quite as big a deal as it has sort of snowballed into and become. Because when I woke up this morning, there was at least 2 or 3 videos already with the 8 talking about the 8 car paint scheme. So obviously, meant a lot to a lot of people. So good deal that he's bringing that back. The other news that kind of broke today, changing gears here. Frankie Muniz announces that he is going to run full time with the Remy brothers, and that is the poll question. Do you think in the Truck Series? Do you think he will get a win next season? And go ahead and vote on that now, because I'm going to take that poll question down in just a minute when I transition here into what I'm talking about next. So vote on that now, because I'm going to transition it to something else, which I think will be just a funnier poll question. But he has run late models. He's done pretty good in late models. He ran in ARCA, and if you look at his stats in ARCA, they're not that bad. And before that, actually, he ran some open wheel, which was interesting, because I'd forgotten that he ran open wheel. His first 2 years of open wheel, not necessarily anything to write home about. Did finish 11th his second year. His last year at open wheel, Atlantic Championship open wheel is what he was running. He ran for Team Stargate Worlds. He didn't run the full season, finished 9th in points, left 3 races on the board, but he did have finishes of 6th, 8th, 7th, 7th, 10th, 8th, 8th, 4th, and 10th. So he had a great season, left a few on the board, but he really put it together. So it showed you in 3 seasons, he improved his racecraft significantly, because that 9th easily would have been, I'm saying, at least a top 5 in points if he had run the whole season. But then you jump down to 2023 in the ARCA Menard series, where he finished fourth overall in points, and he had some great runs here as well. 11th at Daytona, 6th at Phoenix, 9th at Talladega, 8th at Kansas, 6th at Charlotte, 6th at BLN. I'm not sure. Elkhart, he got a 16th there, so that's going to be his low finish. The lowest finish in all of ARCA was 16th. Then you got a 6th, a 9th, a 21st, or I said 21st. I missed that one. A 5th at Michigan, 11th at IRP, 16th at the Glen, 7th, and then you got a 12th, an 18th, a 23rd, a 10th, and an 8th. So pretty good racecraft. He took his late model experience and it translated pretty well. He also got a 9th at Talladega as well. I don't know. This is a weird statistic. A 12th. Here we go. He ran in 2024 one race for the Remy brothers, also in the ARCA Menard series, where he finished 12th as well. But now flip it and going to the truck series, where he did make a few starts last year for the Remy brothers. Not anything to write home about. Not a great deal of success. 31st at Nashville and 29th at Kansas to go with his starts for Joey Gates Motorsports in 2024 in the Xfinity Series. Also nothing to write home about, where Daytona 33rd, Phoenix 30th, and Portland International Raceway he DNQ'd. So not necessarily the results at the next level he wanted, but he hasn't had a full season, and it is hard to jump into these and just run a few races. So him running next year in the Craftsman Truck Series, I think he's going to have a lot of good results. I think he's really going to improve his racecraft. I'm on the fence. I don't know if he gets a win or not, but I think it's going to be close. I think he's going to have some really good finishes. I think it'll be very similar to sort of his open wheel deal in his first year in ARCA Menards. I think you're just going to see a lot of top tens, but I think he is going to threaten for a win. And I think if the opportunity presents itself, he will have a chance to win. But it's going to be a toss up. He's in decent enough equipment. Remy Brothers race, nothing to sneeze at. Not necessarily in the elite of the elite equipment, but still in pretty good equipment. So I think he's going to be pretty good there. So that was an interesting deal. For sure. 38 years old, Woodridge, New Jersey native. So now we have another guy whose every race will be their home track, because we got another New Jersey native to go along with Martin Truex Jr. Woodridge, New Jersey native, home track. Every track is his home track. So we can keep that joke going as well. And of course, the other news coming out today is that Jimmie Johnson is going to run again in 2025 for Legacy Motor Club. And this is the one I really didn't want to talk about, but 7-time champion, like there's nothing he needs to hang his head about, but the finishes, and part of it is the team, but the finishes since he's come back from retirement: 31st at Daytona in 2023, 38th at COTA, 37th at Charlotte, withdrew from the race at the Circuit of Americas. Of course, that was a horrible situation. We understand why he did that there. 2024, 28th at Daytona, 29th at Texas, 28th at Dover, 38th at Kansas, 29th at Charlotte, Indy 33rd, Kansas 36th, 28th at Las Vegas. So since returning to the Cup Series, his best finish with Legacy is 28th. Now, you can point your finger, and obviously a lot of this has been because he's qualified poorly and he's gotten into some wrecks in the back of the field. But the other thing you really need to look at is Legacy Motor Club. Despite showing really signs of life last year, they ran better last year without any alliance to any manufacturer than they are running this year with an alliance to Toyota, because this year, of all the cars that have made all the starts in the races, the 43 and the 42, Eric Jones obviously missed 2 races, but the 43 and the 42 are last in points. 423 points for John Hunter Nemechek, 468 points for Eric Jones, who has missed 2 races. But they're both 33rd and 34th in points. It has been an absolutely abysmal year for Legacy. So it's hard to get excited for Jimmie Johnson coming back in 2025 when overall Legacy has been an absolute dumpster fire. And I hate to say that, because I'm going to pull for the 43 car as long as the 43 car is on track. But man, it has been just absolutely abysmal. I mean, they showed a lot of signs of life, and you really thought with some manufacturer help this year that they would be good. But last year they showed signs of life without any manufacturer help, really. And this year, with manufacturer help, they've been absolutely worse in every statistical category possible. They have been worse. And Jimmie Johnson, he's making these starts, I guess, to bring in money, and that money is going to help, but you have to allocate that money to places where it's going to help. And it just looks like the whole thing has been mismanaged thus far, and you have to put some of that blame on Jimmy Johnson, as he is one of the owners of the organization now. And you've just seen so much turnover since Jimmy Johnson came in. Hopefully it works out for him next year, but it's hard to get excited about Jimmy Johnson, even though he's a 7-time champion, even though he's a lot of people's favorite driver, even though he's a lot of people's least favorite driver. It's really hard to get excited about it when legacy has just been that abysmal. And I hate to say it, because it's just bad. It's just been so bad this year, but hopefully they get it going in the right direction, and hopefully it all works out for them. But yeah, great. In normal situation, this will be great news, but tonight, not so much. But the other poll question I wanted to mention was, who wins first? Do you think I should throw this up there? Who wins first, Sheldon Creed or Frankie Muniz? So I don't know. Is that a good poll question or not? We'll have to figure it out here in just a minute. Maybe leave this one up for a few more minutes, and then we'll move on from it. It is opening night in the NBA tonight too, as well. So wearing this here for the Discord moderator. Check out the Discord if you want to jump in and join that. But old Glock here, wearing his Piston shirt. This is actually a Grant Hill shirt. I'm rolling with the Magic, so technically still with the Magic because it's a Grant Hill shirt. But I wanted to throw some Pistons gear on for Glock, doing a great job managing the Discord over there. What's up, Lanes? What's up, Rosie? Hope you're doing good. Evening, everyone. Would love to see Frankie win a race. I think that would be huge, man. Like, as far as crossover stuff and things like that goes, if Frankie Muniz, I keep saying it, I want to say Munoz because Mark Munoz used to be a really good tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I always want to say Muniz. Frankie Muniz. If Frankie Muniz can get a win, I think that would be great, because it would be this big crossover thing. It would kind of be like, if you remember all the way back in the day to Paul Newman, the great actor. If you watched the Cars movie, he was, I think, Doc in Cars. It would be equivalent to Paul Newman winning when he won his races in IMSA and stuff like that. It'd be huge crossover fandom watching for that. So I think it would be a great thing if he can pull one off. Evening, everyone. Let's see. What's up? Rosie says, Mark Barnum. BB, are you going to Martinsville? I will be there. I will be at Martinsville. That's no doubt about it. I will be there. Say Kyle saying, I'm not doubting Frankie. He can't run good enough to find himself capitalizing on a top 5 into a win. I'm doubting the truck is good enough to have him in position to capitalize. So I'm voting no. So yeah, that's part of it. Like, Remy Brothers stuff, it's not bad stuff, but it's not necessarily the top tier stuff either. So it's going to be interesting to see if the equipment holds him back, or if his driver craft holds him back. Of course, it'll be his first full-time season, so it'll be interesting to see. But he does have a lot of experience. And 38 years old, he's had a lot of racecraft in the past, so I don't think the racecraft is going to hold him back a ton. He's still going to have to learn a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I think he can put it together for maybe the second half of the season. And yeah, I'm with you. I think it would have to be he's running in a top 5 situation, and the leaders in the front do something insane. I think that would be probably the situation where he gets one before, but you give him about 3 years in it. I think he could challenge for wins as it goes there. What's up, Lovey Barkley? Hope you're doing good today. Howdy from the Great White North. What's up, Robin Marks? What's up, Canada? I love to see the 8 car, but beer is gross. Canadian beer rules, says Robin Marks. Yeah, as far as beer goes, buying it from the supermarket, all beer is good. First off, I'm not going to say beer is gross. All beer is good. Buying it from the supermarket is one type of beer, but then getting craft brewed or getting it straight from the brewery, it tastes a lot better that way. Drink responsibly. This commercial brought to you by Xylophil. Fix that bend. Let's see. Hey, BB, funny how Joey was good enough. I'm just joking. I'm not sponsored by Xylophil. Hey, BB, funny how Joey was good enough, or am I? Was good enough to locking the championship race, yet not enough to pass Chase Elliott out of the groove power rankings. Yeah, I don't know exactly his formula for doing power rankings, and that's why I don't do power rankings. They're just so up to, like, you can do it by a formula, but you're still going to have human input into the formula as to what you value. So it's still a lot of human error, human toss up as far as that goes. In between the lanes, saying Woodridge, New Jersey legend Frankie Muniz is his title name now. There you go. Woodridge, New Jersey legend Frankie Muniz. I keep saying it wrong. I'm going to say it wrong forever now. Jimmy Deegan Johnson, says Mark Barnum, referring to the wrecks. Him and Haley Deegan apparently wrecked just as much now. According to Mark there, PC Gone Rogue, what's up, my man? Good to see you on here as always, my friend. I'm a Knicks fan. Says in between the lanes. There you go. You had what were they calling that era there with the Villanova guys? The Wildcat era or whatever. I don't know. Y'all had some type of era going on, but it didn't last very long. Did not last. The Nova Knicks. That era did not last very long. But you do have a pretty good squad. Got some good players up there. Hopefully, you can get something going this season. There you go. There is the merch link. If you want to help out the channel, visit the merch store. And there is the Discord link also from one wise guy. Appreciate you there, wise guy. Always coming through in the clutch with that stuff. Let's see. Banner night for the Celtics, 18 championships, most in the NBA. Indeed. Beat the Mavericks last year. And once again, I was wrong. I was wrong in the old the DK app on the phone, but it's all good. It's all good. Congrats to the Celtics. Let's see. Discord link. Anything else come out about Spygate? I haven't seen anything other than the original post. Kenny Wallace went in depth and talked about it quite a bit, but I don't think any more news has come out since then. So it's going to be interesting to see if it ever comes out, and if the teams that everybody thinks are involved are actually the teams involved, because you never know with those cases. Like rumors are, they're fun, but the truth sometimes is stranger than fiction, as they say. So it'll be interesting if the truth ever comes out on that. In our lifetimes. Legacy MC and the Carolina Panthers are a perfect match, says Delmer Kaufman. So maybe that's the collab they need. Maybe if they collab together, they can change both of their looks. But yeah, Panthers doing what the Panthers do. Every once in a while they go to the Super Bowl, but most of the time they do not have great seasons. NBA on TNT is always good stuff, BB. Yeah, so hopefully they can keep Charles Barkley wants to keep the NBA on TNT team together no matter where they go after this, because obviously I think this will be the last year that the TNT guys are together on that. So hopefully they'll keep that gang together, because that group is almost as iconic as the Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett booth to me. So it's gonna be the end of an era over there, just like the Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett's, Bob Jenkins booth sort of was an end of an era when they were all together as well. People. This beer is better than that beer. We're just going to ignore the Fast and the Furious and Point Break are the exact same movie, says Say Kyle. Yeah, for sure. Somebody else has actually watched the director's notes. I see. Yeah. So back in the day when you got the DVD, they played a director's cut where basically the director talked over top of it. And one of the things the director for that movie said is, I tried to take a lot of elements from Donnie Brasco and Point Break and put it into this movie right here. So actually they're all remakes of Donnie Brasco, I think is what he was trying to say in that. So I will add Donnie Brasco to the Fast and Furious Point Blank genre. But yeah, for sure. I'm glad somebody say Kyle. Yeah, my man, you're on it. I think we think very similar as far as that goes. Although you like the Smashing Pumpkins, and I don't dislike the Smashing Pumpkins, I just don't like Billy Corgan. That was a random thing. That was an in between conversation. That's inside stuff. Anyway, a lot of things are subjective, even if we use data, says Rosie. That's true. That's true, because it's whoever's programming the data, right? For sure. The Nova Knicks. That's it. All right. I stumbled through it and eventually got to it. But yeah, the Nova Knicks were that was a short-lived, really cool name though. Cool name. Short-lived ability to market on it. I feel bad for anybody because you know how New York is. I feel bad for anybody that already bought a Nova Knicks shirt, because I'm sure the next day they had them on the corners, the street corners selling them. So that would be a tough buy right there. Tough buy, because you're not getting that money back. I'm calling it. Joey Logano wins the championship this year. He won 4 races in 2022 when he got it, and now he's got 3 right now, and 4 was Phoenix in 2022. He's won the South Point 400, which he just did again. Yeah, so 2018, 2022, he won the South Point 400. And that gives you a great advantage, because all he has to do now is focus on Phoenix. All that 22 team has to do is focus on Phoenix. So the other drivers have to focus on the next 2 races to get to Phoenix. So it's given him a huge advantage as far as that goes. And you can't discount that. And you also can't discount the fact that Penske's won the championship the last 2 years as well. They're going for 3 in a row with 2 different drivers. So good on them. Possibly Ryan Blaney's still in this thing too. So, I mean, you can't count him out either. So it's going to be interesting. All Ryan Blaney has to do is win a race, which he is capable of, as he proved last year at Martinsville. Who has the better chance to squeak out this win this season, KFB or Truex, or neither? I'm gonna say that's a flip of. I'm gonna say 50-50 on both of them as far as who's got the better chance. They both have good statistical tracks coming up. It's just going to be whether or not their teams hit the setup and if things bounce their way. But I hope both of them. Honestly, I hope both of them can go out with a win. Kyle Busch to continue his streak, and Martin Truex Jr. to actually go out. I should say. Charles Barkley is a knucklehead, says in between the leads, for sure, no doubt about that. If Joey wins the championship, should we conclude he sold his soul for the even year luck? He didn't even acknowledge he didn't believe in the even year luck, but he said even now he has to acknowledge the even year luck is actually a thing in victory. Well, in the victory interview at the start finish line, I was going to say victory lane interview, but that's not even a thing anymore. How about that Duke win over Florida State? First time ever. Indeed. First time ever. So good for the Blue Devils. I was super stoked about that. They have to wear the black helmets from here until the end of time now, because that's just the way it works. They got the good mojo in them. Lots of injuries on your 49. Yeah. Ayuk went down. Like, my fantasy team too. I lost another wide receiver. I lost the wide receiver Rice from Kansas City. I lost Tua Tagovailoa, even though I didn't draft him because my first 3 rounds were auto drafted because I didn't get there on time. But anyway, I had him, lost him. I lost Isaiah. What's the guy? The running back. I lost the running back for the Chiefs. You name it. Whoever's been on my fantasy team this year has gotten hurt. So my fantasy year is a disaster. I will not probably be defending this title. And the 49ers have been sort of a mirror image of my fantasy team because they've been hurt too. So it's unfortunate. My kicker, I had the 49ers kicker. He's got a high ankle sprain. Like literally every player this year that I've had on my team has gotten injured except for like 1 or 2. It's insane. It's been a bad year. Taking one down. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I just gotta roll with it. Back at you there, say Kyle on the Fast and the Furious franchise there. Jamie Schweitzer, those are my winning predictions going into the rest of the season. Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad pick there. Lanes, dang, can't believe you hate Billy. LOL, says they're deaf. He's kind of, in my opinion, he's not the greatest person in the world. Makes great music. I like their music. I like the Pumpkins music. Just he's such a douchebag. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. Not everybody's for everybody. He's not for me. Let's see. Why did Martinsville Speedway close off the backstretch seating? Probably to save money, I would guess, because I think they tax you for all of your, at least in North Carolina, what I've been told. I don't know if this is true or not, but what I've been told is for stadium venues, they tax you by the seats. So if they got rid of seating or even just covered it up and say they got rid of it, then they no longer have to pay the taxes on that size of venue for the seating. So that would be my guess if I had to guess, but I couldn't tell you for sure, but that's just my thought process on that. And it's like I said, total guess. But I used to like to sit on the backstretch myself. I watched several races from the backstretch. Even before they had seats there, there used to be just a grass lawn and you could sit on it. So I'm not sure why they did away with it. There is some great it's a great view if you've got an RV and you're lucky enough to have that. We had it for the late model race. We were parked there for the late model race in the RV motorhome lot that's right above the track right there. Now that's a great seat. That's a great seat if you can get those, or if you know somebody that's in the know. I'm sure there's only a handful of them, but that's an awesome seat as far as that goes. This championship could be won by fuel mileage. Shout out to Tate for getting us those tickets there, and to Ron. I think Ron also got us some tickets there. This championship could be won by fuel mileage. The 2 big wins were gas mileage races. That's true. That's a good point. Like, what if Phoenix comes down to some weird strategy call? Like, it obviously could. Like, if you don't have the speed, just do something outside of the box, and that could win you one. Matt Kenseth came back at Phoenix to take out Joey Logano, says Joseph Wooten. He did. Billy Corrigan or Dave Mustaine, most annoying voice, LOL. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I don't know about that one, but I'm going to go with Neil Young. Neil Young, his voice, great music, great musician, just not for me. His voice is far more annoying than either one of theirs, but same high-pitched sort of squeal. You have to throw I like James Blunt, but a lot of people don't. So I think you'd have to throw James Blunt in the mix there as well. Bob Dylan. Who else put in an order on Dale Jr. number 8 Bud merch, says Timber Ace. Yes, there you go. I knew that merchandise would be jumping up in price, as I told the Discord without telling them exactly why that merchandise would be going up on price. I was like, if you got Budweiser 8 stuff, save it and don't sell it until after something happens. I didn't tell them what was going to happen though. Muniz won't win a truck race, but you never know. It could be a great if we got an announcement regarding RBR getting Ford support in trucks. Now that would be huge. Hopefully the Remy brothers do get Ford support, and that would definitely, in my opinion, perk up that team and give them some extra opportunities and resources. Joseph Wooden, that would be awesome. Be also on College Game Day. Give me that duck from Eugene, Oregon, with the best uniforms in college sports. There you go. Best dressed team in college sports for sure is always the Oregon Ducks. Pacheco, Isaiah Pacheco, that's who I was trying to think of. Lost him too. So everybody, I've lost everybody. I was able to at least pick up Kareem Hunt. So I do at least have Kareem Hunt. I will actually put him in my lineup because I forgot to do it last week, just because the season's been such a disaster. So yeah, I will at least I've got a decent running back. He'll probably get hurt now though because I started him. There's a guy on Sirius XM and Tony from Rhode Island, and he talks all about the 22 being a magic number and Joey will win because it's an even year. He says it's just math magic. Says Dirty Death. That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that one out if I can find some. I don't know. I don't have Sirius. I'm gonna have to find a way to get it. Find a way to sail the high seas and find a way to listen to some of that. I think the win this weekend at Homestead is going to be really close between Byron, Bell, and Larson. Yeah, that's my final four right there. I've got Larson, Byron, and Bell, and then of course Logano already locked in, and I had those three already locked in before Logano won. So I was wondering who I was going to put in there as a fourth. Well, Logano took that mystery away from me with the fuel mileage win. It's a great strategy on them. So that's my final four. If any of those, but if anybody else wins and knocks them out, I think that's going to be a huge story because everybody else is so far behind in points right now. Do you think the 45 flipped because of the infield track or because of the bouncing on the grass before the infield? I think he flipped just because the suspension broke. I don't think it really would have mattered. Now, if it makes people feel better to pave the entire track, that's fine. But I think he still would have flipped because I think the way that the suspension angled down toward the ground, I think he would have flipped one way or the other. I really like that 8 Budweiser late model is sharp. Yeah, good looking late model for sure. No doubt about it. The car has always been a good looking car. I mean, it's always been a fan favorite. Just that bright red and some simplistic lines on the side, but it really works. It's one of the best schemes of all time. I would have liked to seen a black roof, but that being said, I understand why you wouldn't do a black roof because it is an absolute pain in the butt to wrap. So, but I'm sure like to them it's probably not a big deal. They probably got people that wrap their stuff. But for local guys, just wrapping the roof, that's probably the least favorite part of wrapping a car is wrapping the roof and the hood. They're just absolutely annoying because of all the contours and stuff in them. Pain in the butt for sure. BB, is there a video of Dan Patrick saying, "Why do we all yell about sports?" I couldn't find it. I don't know if there's a clip. He just said it all the time. He was always making fun of all the guys yelling and stuff. He's basically taking shots at Mad Dog, Mike and Mad Dog in the morning. That's basically who he was. I think taking the main shot at. But he just didn't understand why everybody on the morning sports radio was yelling. I'll try to find it for you though, and post it somewhere. Logano is not one of the 4 best drivers this year, not even close, says Napa Racing Fan. Yeah, I don't think that's an argument, but because of the play, here's the deal. He's going to be, if he wins the championship, which is a big if, he's still going to be just as legitimate of a championship because everybody had the rules at the beginning of the season. And this is what Penske has done better than everybody else. Penske plays the game in front of them. They race the rule book. They're not racing every other car on the track. That's what I was getting at the other day in the video when I talked about they might not have 10 wins. They might not have the most wins on the season, but they race the system that they're in. They're not worried about winning the most races. They're worried about winning the most important races. And that's what you've seen Penske do the last 3 years. They win the most important races. They don't win the most races. So they're playing the system, in my opinion. Let's see. Hi, what up, BB? How you doing? I'm finally home from the 4,800 mile journey within 8 days. Hey, right on, Chrome Diesel. Keep on trucking, my friend. That is a lot of miles. So stay safe out there. Love the number 8 late model. Now run an Xfinity car with it. Junior, please, one more Xfinity start in the bud. He basically said he's going to run another Xfinity Series race. It just won't be next year. So the whole this is my last race, that was just hype and propaganda to get you to watch, get you to watch that race he was in. BB, I need to know what the little car is on your left on the shelf book. This one right here would be Dick Trickle's late model. So that's what that one is. BB, I know they are getting forward support in ARCA, and AM had since AM's shutting down their ARCA team down. So yeah, so maybe they'll the Remy brothers will pick that up, and that would be a good deal for sure. We know for sure it'll be a Ford, but hopefully they get factory support from it. The 20 team telling the world the plan on the radio with 3 to go. Should we pass the 99 and 22 pass the 99 with 6 to go? Do you think the 20 team gave it away? They might have. They might have. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say, but that's the risk you run with radio communications. Why would Legacy get rid of Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, even though it was just 1 year? Would make more sense. I don't think they're getting rid of Jones. They actually re-signed him, so I don't know. I don't know all the talk about getting rid of Jones. They literally just re-signed him. They signed him to an extension, so I'm not sure where that talk's coming from. Is smoked cheese the best cheese? Says OJ and Toothpaste. All cheese is good cheese. So there you go. Junior as Mickey. Junior as Mickey as Chase. Says Mark Barnum. Chrome Diesel, nice haul on a 34-hour reset myself. Hey, there you go. A lot of trucking going on. So eastbound and down is in the house. Sadly, Legacy should probably get rid of Jimmie behind the wheel, even part-time, other than Daytona and Talladega, particularly in the 500. I think they run him because he brings in sponsor money. So I think keeping him behind the wheel is actually helping them financially. So I think that's why they're doing it, in my opinion. Apparently, Dan Patrick is on the Sports Reporters. I didn't know that. I haven't watched that in a long, long time. So that's pretty cool. Breaking news: Kareem Hunt gets hurt this weekend because BB picked him up on their team. LOL, says Joseph Wooten. That's pretty much the way it's gone this season, unfortunately. Legacy worst to first in 2025, says Delmer Kaufman. Hopefully they can put it together for next season. They can't, in my opinion, they can't really get much worse. They're getting outrun by Rick Ware Racing. So I mean, it's you got to do something to improve your upside there. 45 flip was the first flip this year that was a barrel roll, says Duke Chronic. I don't think the grass is a problem. I think if we get rid of the grass, how do we slow the cars down, aiming for the pits? Yeah, that's engineering. Get rid of one problem, you create another one. Been a minute since I tuned into one of these. Had to say no on the poll, says Cameron Moss. What's up, Cameron? Always doing good things. Of course, Cameron Moss in the number 29 there, running at South Boston Speedway in the Budweiser Hornets division. So shout out to him. Hopefully we do some good things next season for sure. Looking like Mother Nature is bringing the heat for Martinsville again this year. Will the option tires be a bigger storyline with a hot slick track? Hopefully it doesn't, but every year there's some type of weather at Martinsville. So I don't know. If they do bring them out, hopefully it's not a disaster, and hopefully it goes well. 45 flip was similar to the 17 flip in the 2022 Coke 600. Working and listening, great job, brother, says Aaron Flynn. Appreciate you there. Nothing beats late model stock with a laid back number that shines under the lights, in my opinion, says Krusty. Yeah, late model stocks, the bodies they've got now, and even the older bodies. It's just a great looking body, and it looks really good, like you said, under the lights. And when you get the paint scheme right, or the wrap job, whatever you want to call it, they do sort of pop. See, Kyle didn't even sit on a 34-hour break. I sat the 8th day to get the 3.5 hours back, enough to drive back home today, says Chrome Diesel. So there you go. We're all learning a little bit about trucking today, because I didn't know there were loopholes and stuff like that to it. So that's pretty cool. Ever think of doing a video featuring a season bingo card with all that will happen in the entire season? I never thought about that, but it would be pretty funny. That's your right, BB. Look on the bookshelf. Little black car, non-racing, I believe. Is the car in the room with me? Is it where is it at? Is it either here? So that one's Bill Elliott. That one's Lewis Hamilton. That one's a Ferrari F1. That one's Joey Logano. That one's Dale Jr. Sundrop. That one is Sterling Marlin. Gold Coors. That one is Austin Dillon. That one is Richard Petty. And the one behind Richard Petty, telephone, is Dale Sr. Yeah, I think that's all the cars. This one over here is a red Chevrolet truck. So I think that's all of them. I think that's all of them to my left, unless I'm missing one. So there you go. Sports Reporters is on ESPN's YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Okay. So I have to check that one out. Frankie Muniz will win a truck race, and Logano is going to win the championship, says Bruce Reed. Yeah, I'm hoping he does win one because I think it'll be a great crossover deal for sure. Uh, let's see, Wayne Patterson's number 14 Pabst Blue Ribbon Ride in 1985, says Krusty. Now there you go. Now you're talking about something. So I don't remember the blue. I've seen pictures of it. I shouldn't say that. The ones I remember from Wayne Patterson. Wayne Patterson had a Budweiser one that he ran. Craig Moore redid that for one of the races, throwback races at Hickory. The other one I remember was the yellow 14 with the black front bumper, black rear bumper, IROC Camaro, Chatley Boat and Marine, and then later it was Bailey's on the hood of that thing. So that yellow one is the era of Wayne Patterson that I really remember the most. Him and Barry Bagley had some massive battles. Barry Bagley just ran. He actually got in the race car and raced the other night, the last race at Orange County. Before they got one this weekend, but the previous race, Barry Bagley got back out there, and it was just so cool to actually be working. One of my childhood heroes, just to be working in the pits with him there. And then there was a guy I used to do a cable TV show called Race Talk. John Evans, he was in the pits too. So it's just a really cool nostalgic night for me. Doesn't necessarily that's so super regional, so it's not going to mean a whole lot to y'all. But just know that a lot of legends when I was growing up were in the pits, and I was actually working on a race car. So it was a pretty cool night, pretty cool just all around to be in the pits with all those people working, seeing them. I grew up and I was sitting on the other side of it, I guess is the best way to put it. Good call, Jamie, says Krusty. Let's see. And they will do Hollywood stuff together. Bruce says Krusty. Was westbound and down as far as Missouri and Nebraska, then eastbound and down to Maryland. So of note, there is an eastbound and down. It's the same song. He just sings it for when the truck's going either which way. If you listen to the soundtrack, driving a 600 horsepower semi truck is fun. Kind of hoping Blaney helping Logano ends up costing him a trip to the Final Four somehow, being just short on points, says Dirty Def. I don't think he could have improved his point situation there. He was like 57 laps down or something like that. He was some insane amount of laps down. So I don't know if he could have improved his points position by moving in front of Logano or not. Logano winning made the points battle boring. Now it's just win or done for the season, says Napa Race fan. That's not a bad statement to make there. So it does sort of take the points aspect out of it now, and now you just have to win. So that's fair enough. Playoffs should be rebranded as the Penske offs. BB is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. If you watch the Pat McAfee show, is Kyle Busch back on? That's what we need to know. After the season, are they gonna have the Kyle Busch Tuesdays as well? Logano can thank the 48 for making their car too light. If he wins the championship, the 48 team should get a bonus, says Napa Racer fan. Hey, that's not necessarily wrong. I'll say that. Cheese of choice when you get a sandwich from Jersey Mike's. I just go with the regular. American cheese there. They do have provolone, so every once in a while I'll get provolone depending on the sandwich. Last two Coke Zero Sugar 400s have been really good for some reason, says Lovey Barkley. Yeah, people like most people either like super speedway races or they don't. So it just depends on your taste there. I don't think the option tire can make the Martinsville race any worse than what we've seen, says Joseph Wooten. Hopefully this Martinsville race will be different. Hopefully it'll be better. 2 shelves down full next to the yellow books. That's a Model T. So that car right there at the bottom is a Model T. This one right here is a Model T. Model T Ford. So there you go. All right. I didn't even know that car was there. So good eye. I'm glad you could spot that. And this right here is a lens. That's a lens for my camera. Let's see. Playoffs should be rebranded as the Penske offs. I just read that one. Let's see here. Tri-County time. NASCAR collector lemonade cans worth anything? Is Country Time NASCAR collector lemonade cans worth anything? I don't know. Hard to say. Looks like a Hot Wheels car. I see the wheels, but I can't tell what it is, says T-Van. It's a Model T Ford, and I'm not exactly sure who made it. It's just something somebody gave me one year. BB, will the championship 4 consist of at least one car of each manufacturer? I would say yeah. I think that's going to be That's probably a fair guess there. BB has new emojis been created. Says Thunderstrike. So yeah, in the Discord there are new emojis if you want to go check those out. Let's see. I was lucky today to pick up 5 cases of rejected bell pepper from fellow trucker at Maryland. Load them into my empty refrigerator trailer. Turn the units to keep them under cold temps. Hey, so there you go. Picking up some contraband. Just playing. But yeah, that's a cool deal. Hopefully you'll be able to enjoy those or unload them, whatever you want to do. Let's see. Yeah, speaking of the new emojis, Thunderstrikes was getting at, we had a pretty good conversation. I don't know if you guys like Trailer Park Boys, but we had a pretty good convo about Trailer Park Boys today. Seems to be a big favorite, not only among the Discord, but just in the late model pits. We talk about Trailer Boys quite a lot. We were talking about favorite characters. Obviously, Bubbles is a favorite character, and Ricky. I think those are Rosie's 2 favorite characters. And 2 of my favorite characters as well. But don't sleep on Philadelphia Collins. And the Dirty Burger, the Philadelphia Collins and the Dirty Burger, that got a lot of run back in the day with not the current Sellers Racing Gang, but the former Sellers Racing Gang. We had a lot of we talked a lot about the Dirty Burger and Philadelphia Collins. And let's see here, Trevor and let's see, Thunderstrikes. I think his was I think yours was Trevor and somebody, if I'm not mistaken. Logano winning bumped Blaney. Back like 15 points at the cut line, moved because Joey took up a spot in the final 4. Indeed. It flipped it on its head, and basically everybody's in a win or go home situation unless somebody else wrecks. So you never know. Kyle Busch is good on the Pat McAfee show. He is. It's a role that I wasn't ever expecting from him, but he stepped into it and done a great job there. He also did some good work on whatever that new show is. The first 2 weeks that he filled in over there. On the NASCAR YouTube channel. Chrome, I've been running, or at least from the clips I saw, running over Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. Got to see a bunch of storm damage. Yeah, hopefully everybody gets back to normal as soon as possible over there. Always in our thoughts and prayers. That region over there, and also the people in the mountains who are affected as well with the lawsuit. I wonder if new manufacturers are shy about NASCAR now, says Old Home Guy. I don't think so. I don't think it's really going to affect them too much. I think at the end of the day, when all this is said and done, it'll make things simpler. Hopefully. Wait, there's a Discord, says Cameron Moss. We do have a Discord. I think it's the Bologna Burger Stand. There you go. Wise guy dropped the link right there. So there you go. Leahy is the best. Duke Chronic. Yeah, there you go, Duke Chronic. Leahy for sure. That was somebody else's pick as well. Yeah, Leahy's the man. He is the best when he becomes the liquor. So let's see. I gave out the most cases of bell peppers to my relatives. Mom will be making stuffed peppers nonstop. That's what's up, my man. A good stuffed pepper is hard to beat if you get it going on. Yes, oh my God, you got it right, says Rosie. All right, good. So my memory is still not all the way gone. I still remember some things. Any show that loves Rush is good in my book. Check marks to Trailer Park Boys and South Park, no doubt about it. South Park's also another good one that we reference quite often. In fact, I'm glad you brought up South Park. We referenced Tally right before. I think somebody had referenced Tally. At least that's the last thing I saw before I didn't scroll up or anything. That seemed to be the last post. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. But South Park was also referenced as well. Let's see. One driver makes it to the final 4 on points. Who will it be? Oh yeah, that's true. Either. I don't know. Either it's going to be one of the 3. It's either going to be Kyle Larson, William Byron, or Christopher Bell. That would be my guess. And it's hard to pin down because I feel like 2 of those drivers have a good chance of winning. So whichever of those drivers don't win would be my guess. Carl Edwards has been good on the playoff show as well. I need to check that one out. So I need to check that one out. I haven't seen his appearances, but it is good that he's back and he cares about NASCAR again. He's whatever made him step away and he needed that big break. I'm glad that has gone away from him and he's back and contributing at least on the media side. What's up, Muniz? Picked a bad team for wins, says Shah. Yeah, it's not an elite team. But as far as getting your bearings in the truck series, I don't think it's a bad team either. So it'll be interesting. And I could see a situation where he runs 5th and the guys in front of him wreck. So I did throw it up there, but 61% no, that feels about right. That's about how I feel about it too. I feel like it's about 60-40 that he can get a win next season, but he will have to have some help. It won't be on raw speed. So right now, the poll question is a good one. Chevy will likely win the manufacturer points championship. Who do you think will be the next driver to retire after this season? That's a good question. I'm going to say, and people don't believe me, but I'll say retiring from full time. I think Denny Hamlin will be the next one to retire from full time. I think he retires before Kyle Busch. I think those are the two oldest right now. So I'm gonna go Denny Hamlin will probably be the next driver to retire. I don't think that's a shocking statement, but I think he'll go before Kyle Busch retires. Leahy is probably my favorite. Glad to hear the late model guys talk about it. Yeah, for sure, for sure. We talked about it a lot, especially back in the day. With Bill being a good flat track racer, I believe uh, this is setting up to be his year. He's got a strong chance for sure. I was like 17 working at McDonald's when the Tally episode dropped. We called everyone a towel for like a year. Says say Kyle, no doubt about it. Same age range, my friend. Let's see. Who do you put the blame on? The Reddick Elliott Martin Truex Jr. wreck at Vegas, I think was just a racing deal. I think so too. I think Martin Truex Jr. just wasn't going to give anything in that situation, and through no fault of his own because he didn't know exactly everything that was going on behind him. It just set off a chain reaction. So I think no fault really, just a racing deal. I think Frankie looks into one, says Zach Bishop. That's what I'm hoping because I think it would be a good crossover deal, especially for the Truck Series. Get some eyeballs on the Truck Series. I saw Jeff Gordon was driving the 24 car today at the Roval, but it wasn't the next gen car. Says OJ and Toothpaste. Okay, so I have to check that out. I hadn't seen that. I haven't seen that, but I'll have to go see what's going on with that. Bell, like Larson, can push stuff and go over the line. Says Duke Chronic. Yeah, he can get. Yeah, I agree with you. They both can get more out of the car than the car actually has in it. And there's a handful of drivers that can do that. But yeah, I agree with you. I found out today. Bad Brad Keselowski has a YouTube channel of his own and subscribe to it. Hey, there you go. DK. DK has a channel, so we're gonna have to go check that one out. Was not aware of that one. Kyle Larson and William Byron makes it in on points. Elliott wins to get in. Muniz has such bad luck. The deal sounds great, and I'm happy for him, but I have to see him run an entire year with his team. Not his fault. Just seems like something always happens. Yeah, he's definitely been caught up in a few of them. Wouldn't mind Frankie bringing extra resources to help the team. That's what I'm hoping too. I saw that too. Probably used an old Gen 6 car. Wouldn't crucify them on testing during a PR run. Hey, there you go. And probably something he's more used to and probably would be more excited to drive than the next gen car or whatever, Gen 7 car, whatever you want to call it. I feel like Hamlin's sort of shot himself in the foot with the lawsuit. Racing just got even harder for him than it was already. No favors coming from NASCAR, I guarantee that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I feel like in his mind, the principle of the deal, what he's trying to accomplish in his mind is bigger than the rest of his career. So that's the way I look at it. He's standing on principle. He's standing for what he believes in. So I can't necessarily knock him for that. Now, as far as your racing career goes, was it the smartest thing to do? No, probably not. I do agree with that. Logano literally has done nothing in the regular season, only in the hunt because of the controversial Nashville 5 overtimes, who ran 14th. His teammate caused a series of events that night. That's the way the cookie crumbles, though. I mean, that's to me, that's more on NASCAR than it is on Joey Logano. So everything that you're upset about, the playoffs being structured like they are, the 15 overtimes, 5 overtimes, I'm being facetious. All that's on NASCAR. So be mad at NASCAR. There's nothing Joey Logano can do about that. Joey Logano is just out there driving a race car, doing what he does. Will a championship contender be taken out this weekend? Yeah, I mean, the way this season is going, I think somebody does have a bad race for sure, and finishes 28th or lower. Kligerman and Castle have a pod too. I had no idea. Yeah, I knew about that one. That's a pretty good one. Parker Kligerman does good stuff in and outside of the race car. What did Haley Deegan have to say? What did Haley Deegan say to Kenny Wallace about leaving NASCAR? Haven't had a chance to watch the clip yet. I don't know what she exactly said to him, but I know that he, in his opinion, he felt like she was targeted by drivers. Now, I never saw that. Now, as far as being wrecked, I think is what was communicated to me. I haven't watched it yet, so I got to be careful about what I say. But according to what people told me, I don't think she was ever targeted as far as that goes. I think the only thing that her and every other girl race car driver have to overcome is there's a lot of guys out there that don't want to get beat by a girl because it's just a pride thing for whatever reason for them. And they do race girls harder. They don't wreck them. They just race them harder than they would a normal person because they don't want to get passed or beat by a girl. So that's one thing that all female drivers have to overcome. But at the end of the day, it's not necessarily that serious, and it can be overcome. So eventually, one of these days, one of the girls is going to punch the ticket. It's already happening in late model, and it's just a matter of time before it happens in trucks or Xfinity, or maybe one day even in Cup. So it's not that big of a deal. In a few years, this will be something that is a non-conversation starter. Does the Cars Tour do inspections like the Cup Series? Indeed, they do. They sure do, and you got to have your P's and Q's crossed as far as that goes. I'm sure I'm sure was and always will be mad about NASCAR, about their nonsense gimmicks. It's too random now. That impacts the point system will be changed if NASCAR wants it changed. So good luck on that. If Hamlin engine issue, do you think he'd be in the top 4 to cut off? Oh, that's hard to say. That's hard to say because he's had such a bad playoff so far. I really don't know if those few extra bonus points would help him. I think he'd still be about in the same position. He'd just be 10 points better to the good. He'd be 17 points behind Byron instead of 27, if I'm remembering the point spread correctly. Lovey Barkley, I find it funny how the Gen 5 car was called the car of tomorrow. The Gen 7 is the next gen, and the COT was awful, and now the next gen has a bunch of problems. Yeah, so maybe the one in between, the next one will be a good one. Hamlin will make a very good living as a podcaster and sports analyst. Will he ever be a commentator now? Heck no, says Shah. They have to overcome sucking bads, says one wise guy. 2020, well, not all of them. Some of them are really good. So I don't know. I'm not going to buy into all that. 2024 60th anniversary Hess truck came out yesterday. Hey, there you go. Hess trucks are back out. Cars Tour took a win away from Caden Lapsevich in the summer for having the wrong rear end. Yep, he was running a non-quick change rear end, and apparently that's a rule. I didn't know it was a rule. So I don't think Mike Darn Racing knew it was a rule either. The Krabby Patty meal isn't getting the best reviews. I noticed, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, I think the vast majority of the reviews are going bad because there's not enough. There's not like a SpongeBob bag. You do get a set of stickers with it, which every reviewer has refused to acknowledge. I bought one. This is how I know this. And the sauce, there is sauce on the burger. I saw Moist Critical. He said there's no sauce on the burger. I guess they made his wrong because there is actually a sauce on the burger. It's very similar to McDonald's Big Mac sauce. So that is the Krabby Patty sauce that's on the burger. But to me, the best part of it is the pineapple frosty. That will without question was the pineapple frosty was the best part of it. But yeah, it doesn't have a whole lot of packaging. Like the burger wrap is not a Krabby Patty burger wrap. Like the cellophane around it, and the bag is just a Wendy's bag. So it's just a sticker, a little sticker sheet, and a little bit of sauce on a Dave single, and the frosty, the pineapple frosty. The pineapple frosty was my favorite part though. So I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good meal, but it does lack some presentation because you do want a SpongeBob bag with it. The next on the list is they have a Wednesday Whopper or a Adams Family Whopper at Burger King. So we'll have to check that one out. AJ Allmendinger was on Stacking Pennies this week, and it's worth checking out. Talks a lot about what happened to make him go back down to Xfinity this year. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to check that one out. I hadn't seen that one yet. BB, you're a real trooper. Reading comments, more patient than I would be. Thank you for another great live. Good night, says Jamie Schweitzer. Good night, Jamie Schweitzer. And I'll read them all day. Doesn't bother me one bit. You guys are awesome. You guys make this thing spin. So spending a little time here reading comments, no problem at all. Let's see. JGR Xfinity team got a full-time new ARCA champion, William Sawalich in 2025, Taylor Gray to the 54 in 2025 as well. Indeed, I did see the William Sawalich news. So he's a good one. He's going to be good. Don't sleep on William Sawalich. I know everybody's talking about the Trackhouse man, but don't sleep on Sawalich here. He's He's going to be top notch as well, in my opinion. And Taylor Gray to the 54. That's leading more fuel to the fire that Ty Gibbs doesn't doesn't like Corey Haim. So that's the only thing that really adds fuel to the fire in over there. Yet Byron is plus 27. I think the Cars Tour will eventually be bigger than NASCAR. Never know. Stranger things have happened. Brett Griffin wasn't on door bumper clear. The next car should be the car of yesterday, says Chrome Diesel. This Logano karma started because of Austin Dillon, says Jeezy Treasy. Yeah, maybe, could be. Brett Griffin could be a football coach, maybe a defensive coordinator. I had the Krabby Patty meal. Pineapple Frosty is good. Yeah, Pineapple Frosty is the best part of it. Like maybe just like if they'll allow you to do it, just order the Pineapple Frosty, unless you really like Big Mac sauce on your Dave single. So, but I thought the burger was good too. So I mean, hard to go. I like Wendy's singles, so hard to go wrong with a Wendy's single there, especially with Big Mac sauce. So I like the whole thing, but I don't know. Y'all are getting scammed by SpongeBob, says Rosie. I mean, the cost of it is a little absorbent. I will say that it's a little high for a single, but it is what it is. Maybe that's the big thing that everybody's complaining about is the cost. So yeah, as far as the cost goes, I haven't bought one since, but I did think it was a good meal, objectively. Let's see. Pineapple Frosty does sound fire. The Pineapple Frosty is pretty good. So maybe if you can just order the Pineapple Frosty by itself, that's legit. A Krabby Patty should be it should be crab sauce, says Shaw. I don't know. They did on SpongeBob. Do they ever acknowledge that it's actual crab sauce? Because I don't think Mr. Krabs would have a crab sauce on his burger, but a lot of stuff in Bikini Bottom doesn't make any sense. Maybe Krabs is a cannibal. We don't know. We just know he likes money, money, money. Let's see. Keep on the crab, says Shaw. Danica has a show on MSNBC. Oh, that's interesting. That teaches onside road repair. Oh, how about that? Danica Patrick still has a job. Amazing. Let's see. Justin Marks posted on X a picture of Ross, Daniel, and SVG on a fishing trip in Idaho. They all went there to camp after the Vegas race. Said they didn't catch enough to eat. Says Dirty Duff. So hopefully their hunting abilities will improve. Actions detrimental was 45 minutes this week, says Lovey Barkley. Hey, hey, it doesn't matter how long it is as long as they get the relevant content in. I guess would be the point there. I'm good with the gimmicky stuff. Just give me real food without a bunch of preservatives and garbage in it, and I'll be a customer, says Say Kyle. I think Five Guys is probably the closest as far as that goes, but it's a little pricey for fast food. I don't know. Who's leading on Earth 2? John Hunter Nemechek would be your leader on Earth 2 right now as far as the points go. Dirty Def, did they say where in Idaho, says Rosie. Ty Gibbs owns the 54 Xfinity car, says in between the lanes. Yeah, that's a fact. He is the owner of that car now. Word has it that there's a good number of females at Millbridge. Female drivers will put more female fans in the stands, says Brickyard Brickhead. Indeed, they will. No doubt about it. I may be wrong. Please let me know. But I figured the more posts you get, the more there is to talk about, says Dirty Duff. Typically for sure. Nothing wrong with that at all. Like I said, basically my deal with this is I just roll until we get to the end of it, and when we get to the end of them, that's when I cut it off. So these could be 1 hour. We've had it go like 3 hours plus before. I want to say, triple Whopper with cheese is 1,250 calories. Holy cow, says OJ and toothpaste. The sodium is probably what's going to get you the worst as far as fast food goes. Is the chicken Big Mac better than the original? I don't know. I'm not a big McDonald's person. I like the Big Mac, so maybe I'll try that one, but I don't know. I doubt it. I tried the SpongeBob meal. It was pretty good, says Lovey Barkley. BB, would you try the chicken Big Mac? Because I would. I might try it. So if I'm going to try the Whopper, I might as well try the chicken Big Mac as well. Mr. Krabs crab sauce, laughing my butt off, says OJ and toothpaste. Hey, there you go. You can take it that direction too. OJ. Real Rad Man said on his recent video, problem is NASCAR pushing their thumb on the scale just too much and don't trust their own track product, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, but that's been going on forever. NASCAR likes to have their fingers in everything. They like to control everything. So that's why they get in trouble sometimes with people saying, oh, you're manipulating the race for this guy or that guy. So there you go. They need to. You're right about that. They need to, or he's right about that. They do need to take a step back at times. But good luck. Is your season over now? Says one wise guy. I got one more race at least. One more race at least, and then I'll actually have an off season. Five Guys burgers are so good, and the Cajun fries. Oh yeah, oh yeah, the fries are where it's at because they kind of make them there. The five pit stop mess up is out of real potatoes. The five pit stop mess up is on the carrier. Didn't go to the left side to carry the tire, so that tire didn't get changed. OJ, try Habit Burger. Says one wise guy. So there you go. That's some West Coast stuff for sure because I've never heard of Habit Burger, but they have no ranch. Come on, give guys what they are doing here. Says OJ and toothpaste. Good thing for Denny if he implodes once again this year, that the lawsuit will kind of overshadow that. Hey, there you go. There's a silver lining to everything, I guess. Do you think podcasting or having an active social media account hurts the driver's racecraft? Nope, not at all. Not at all. Now you can go too far with it, and it can bleed into that. But as long as you have a set schedule and they've got enough money to put people in place, they should literally just come in, know what they're going to talk about it, and hop out. It really should be no different than them. In my opinion, this is what people don't think about. Back in the day, you had all of these engagements you had to go to. So to me, it's no different than going to all those engagements that they shuttled you to back in the day. In fact, if you can do it from your house, which is what I think Denny Hamlin does, it probably saves him more time instead of going to all these places making the media rounds like they had to do in the 90s and early 2000s. Now you can just do it from your house. You can live stream it, whatever. So to me, it probably actually in some cases, if you do it right, it all depends on how you do it. If you do it right, it saves you time. If you do it the wrong way and fall in love with it, you can fall in love with being, I guess, on social media and not care about racing as much as you should. It can go both ways, I guess, is the best way to do it or say it. What's your favorite seafood? Oh, that's a good question. We'll come back to that one. I have to think about that one for a minute. I love McDonald's. When I was a little kid, it was popcorn shrimp, no doubt about it. But let me think on that for a minute. Not really seafood, but like catfish too. But it's not really seafood. That's fresh water. I love McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese twice a year. Says Shaw. Habit Burger is good too. Says OJ and toothpaste. At least we don't have any phantom debris cautions anymore. Yep, that's what stage breaks have taken those away. McDonald's makes a good milkshake if the machine is working, which is like 60-40 not working, being the 60%. How about making the burger patties as thick as the chicken patties on a Big Mac? They tried that. They did back in the day, they had all these different Big Macs you could order, and you could get the quarter pounder Big Mac. And so that was the thicker version of the Big Mac. Most likely one of the Toyotas is not making it to the final. Who is 45 or 11? There's a good chance neither one of them make it as far as the standings go right now. Christopher Bell, I think would be the one I'd pencil in there to make it. But the 45 and the 11, good chance neither one of them make it the way their playoffs have gone so far. But you never know. You never know. Good tracks coming up here for Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick's really good at Homestead. Phantom debris cautions might be gone, but they're still throwing the same amount of cautions each race. One time, an official got out of the truck and ran over the wall and bent down and grabbed the air and threw it in the truck. And the camera was zoomed in on it, says Lovey Barkley. Did you have a problem with Larson Stenhouse and Hamlin going to Cabo last week? Nope, not at all. Do you think pit crew members care or no? I don't think they care at all because those guys still perform. They still perform on the racetrack. So yeah, I don't. If Kyle Larson's your driver, just let him do what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Same thing with Denny Hamlin. Like these guys are good. Just let them do what they want to do. And even back in the day, these guys racing for each other, they hung out all the time. So they hated each other on the racetrack, but they hung out all the time. So it's I'm not too worried about it. BB Army and Navy both undefeated. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. If they can keep both of their seasons going like this, it's going to be a heck of an Army Navy game for sure. McDonald's fries are the best with KFC gravy and AW burger. A lot of driving, but tasty, says Shaw. Scallops and fish and chips are my favorite. Fish and chips is pretty good, so I'll go with that for as far as seafood goes. Fish and chips, probably pretty good. Let's see, Alaskan pollock, I guess, for the fish if you had to pin it down, but fish and chips pretty much a staple. I think Bell is the favorite if he makes it to Phoenix, but it seems like it's very rare to see someone win twice in a year at the same racetrack. That's true. Favorite seafood for me is boiled lobster. I never really got into lobster or crab. I know a lot of people love them. Oysters either. I never really got into them though. I might be the only one in this group chat that likes anchovies. Yeah, not my favorite. I do kind of want to eat a pizza with some anchovies on it just because of Ninja Turtles back in the day though. Lobster is hella good to me. Chrome Diesel gotta have the butter to dip it in too. I like anchovies. Says Bones does. So there you go, fellow anchovy lover there. Lanes. That one reporter had an issue about it. LOL, the Cabo thing. Hey, everybody's always going to have an opinion. Like so, hopefully he got his clicks and likes for that article that he wrote there because I'm pretty sure that's literally all it was about. Nice to Bones says Lanes. Paid $12 for a pair of live lobsters from Maine to bring them home alive, says Chrome Diesel. Hey, there you go. Money well spent. Army Navy is one of, if not the best college football games of the year. Indeed. I would like to go to that one year just to experience the atmosphere of it. I've never been to a Red Lobster restaurant, though, says OJ and Toothpaste. You haven't really missed much other than the Cheddar Bay biscuits and endless shrimp. I've had anchovies on a pizza, says Lanes. Good, good. I'm going to maybe one day I'll try it. Eat the anchovy pizza outside. It stinks, says one wise guy. Yeah, it'll definitely be it'll be a restaurant experience because it's not coming in the house. That's for sure. If Cup crew members got upset about what their drivers do on a day-to-day basis, they wouldn't be around very long. They get to do things that 99% of everyone in the world doesn't get a chance to do. Hey, there you go. That's a fact. That's a fact. Red Lobster is getting overpriced. I'm surprised they somehow got out of bankruptcy, says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, and the funniest thing is, I remember back in the day when they said we got endless shrimp. I was like, "There's no way that's going to end well. There's no way." And then when they came out and said we're going bankrupt and it's because of endless shrimp, I was like, "Yeah, I was right." Way back in the day when you originally did the endless shrimp, cheese biscuits and clam chowder is the best thing at Red Lobster. Yeah, the Cheddar Bay biscuits or whatever they call them. That's the best. Tommy Dubs, what's your final four prediction? Obviously Logano. I got Reddick, Bell, and Larson. I got Bell and Larson, but I'm going to go with Byron over Reddick. Reddick just hasn't had a strong playoffs, even though I thought it was going to be his year during the regular season. When he had that strong regular season, I was like, Tyler Reddick's got to be the favorite to win this championship. His playoffs have been so bad that I had to take him out, and I'm going to put Byron in that spot. But yeah, solid lineup. You can't go wrong with any of the final eight left. Zoom is good business, but being up close and personal with drivers is special, says Brickyard Brickhead. Red Lobster and Olive Garden are just so overrated. Yeah, Olive Garden. I guess the endless breadsticks or what? I don't know. I never got the Olive Garden thing. It's not a bad restaurant. It's just not that great. According to the hype, like the way people hype it up. I've had the cheddar biscuits from Red Lobster at home. It's a meal of its own, says in between the lanes. It is. You can fill up on those biscuits pretty quick. We don't have a Fazoli's here in Alabama. Is it any good? I don't know. We don't have one where I'm at either, so I'll have to check out Fazoli's. I'm not familiar with that one. True, Byron has been hot. Unfortunate for Reddick. He had a great run. I've been surprised by how good 2311 has been out of the gate. Yeah, man, 2311 and Trackhouse too, for that matter. They really showed with this new generation of car that if you come into the sport and have the right things in place, you can immediately compete. So I'm with you. 2311, and also they've got to me, Tyler Reddick's a generational talent. Another one, I think Spire's got a generational talent, and Carson Hocevar. Obviously, Hendrick got Kyle Larson, and I'm going to forget somebody, so I don't want to name any more names. But like, some of these teams have Ross Chastain. I'd have to throw him in there too. I can see him doing big things in the future. So yeah, I think all of those teams have all the things sort of lined up. Yes, I'm including Spire because they're a newer team. Hendrick, I'm just doing Kyle Larson stuff because he's, in my opinion, one of the best drivers out there right now. But all those teams are set up for a pretty good future with those drivers they've got, regardless, because those drivers can take the equipment and get extra positions off of it. Carson Hocevar, for example, he is 9 spots better than anybody else in points that has driven a Spire car this year, and that is very impressive considering it's his rookie year. And I would put Tyler Reddick. If Tyler Reddick was driving over there, I think he would be in a similar situation. They're just Ross Chastain, all the other guys I mentioned. I think you just got some generational talents there. Let's see, in between lanes, exactly, BB. My buddy and I would go to the Round Table Pizza for buffet lunch years ago. They stopped doing it probably because my buddy ate way more than they thought and lost money on those people coming in. Yeah, my buddy. I had a guy I used to work for. I shouldn't say my buddy. I had a guy I used to work for, and he talked about he ran a steakhouse, and he talked about the buffet. if you do it right, it still barely makes money. He said there's just no money in running a buffet. You just really have to you have to watch your margins so close on a buffet that it's really hard to make money with a buffet. So that's why he flipped it and went to a steakhouse. He's been doing restaurants his whole life. Pretty sharp guy. Have to be a pretty sharp person to make it in the restaurant business. I'm the steak all you can eat. Baskets are awesome, says Steve Lee. Hey, you can't go wrong with steak, no doubt about it. Let's see. I can't believe there are local Red Lobster is still open. Mountain makes still does the lunch buffet. OJ says one wise guy. I care less about the playoffs. I care more about individual races, but playoffs propaganda is just annoying. It is pretty bad when they start it from like lap one. I wish they would just talk about it in the last stage of the race. I want the driver to walk away with a title, not the most mediocre driver like Logano or Blaney. I mean, that's a criticism a lot of people have, especially fans that have been watching for a long time. Pre-playoffs, I guess you could say. Good to know one wise guy, and I prefer season long points too. But I understand why we have the playoffs. It's a TV thing, so I think you just at some point have to make your peace with it. Good to know one wise guy. We have one in town, 10 minutes from me. Heck yeah, thanks for the idea. Fazoli's is an Italian fast food chain in Southeast and the Midwest. Okay, I literally never heard of it until today. I worked at Fazoli's at 16. They pretty much are a cheaper Olive Garden. Okay, so I'll have to look them up. I literally didn't know it existed until today. I hadn't seen one. And I've traveled a pretty fair amount. I've just never, or if I've seen one, it didn't pop out and catch my eye. I've probably driven past one. Jeff Burton probably gets mad whenever Josephus gets praised. Says, "Say Kyle, yeah. Who does he hate more, Josephus or Ross Chastain? Who does Jeff Burton hate the most there? Unpopular opinion, but underdog runs are overrated pretty much every sport." Says Chrome Diesel. Yeah, just because they're so commonplace with playoffs now. An underdog run and season long points like Alan Kowicki did, that's a legitimate thing that people can get behind. Got the grill fired up with a couple of bone-in ribeyes, or Jamie Vardy in the Premier League, if you want to go that far back. That was special because he took a team that had been basically ass for years, and he took them and won a championship with it. And the fact that I know Jamie Vardy's name tells you how big of a deal that was in the Premier League, because I'm a very casual Premier League soccer fan. Like, I'm a Chelsea fan, so they're going to call me a plastic. So it is what it is. But yeah, when Chelsea's doing good, I watch. When they don't, I kind of tune out. Which is, I guess, typical of Chelsea fans. But I picked Chelsea because they're blue and I like Lions. And they had King Drogba on FIFA back in the day, and he was the only dude I could score with in FIFA back then. So that became a squad. Lee Diffie and Bob Pockris was on Door Bumper Clear with the other week. Hey, there you go. Bob Pockris getting some run there. Pizza Hut lunch buffet passed away here in Alabama. It did here too. They don't have it here anymore either. Got the grill fired up with a couple of bone-in ribeyes, says Aaron Flynn. Let's see. I might have missed one up here. No, that was it. I got it. Let's see. I wonder how Golden Carol is. How Golden Corral is still in business. Hometown Buffet went bankrupt. Was a Sizzler buffet. Western Sizzler. We went to a lot of those back in the day. Lee Diffie and Bob Pockers. I just read that one. Pat McAfee says nobody outpizzas the Hut. Indeed, they don't. Nobody outpizzas the Hut. That's a fact. Michael Waltrip will let you know that. Did you see Breakard's idea for the playoffs with adding a wild card and the best four from each round? I hadn't checked it out yet, so I'll have to watch that video. Ty Schmidt, a stooge of the Pat McAfee, is a Pizza Hut fanatic. I love homemade lasagna. It's so good, way better than Stouffer's. Oh yeah, for sure. It just takes so long to make relative. And Stouffer's is pretty good bang for your buck if you factor your time in. But yeah, it's hard to beat anything. Any Italian food homemade is usually going to taste better. I like to make my own New York style, like the really thick, basically an actual pie of pizza. We make that from time to time, and that's pretty good, man. You can't. It's a really good pizza, but it's so heavy, and you got to eat it for a couple days. But man, that first slice you eat, it's on point. Then after that, it just sits on your stomach pretty heavy. One wise guy going Ross as far as who Burton dislikes the most. Dan Patrick used Traeger grills for Meat Friday. Indeed, he is a Traeger man. At one time, he was sponsored by Mercedes as well, and before that, it was Dodge. Who you leaning towards at Homestead this weekend in the Busch Series? My picks are Heim, Allgaier, and Bell. I'm gonna go Custer. I think Custer. He's gonna transfer as well. So, just to win the race. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cole Custer to win the race too. So that worked out. That worked out. But yeah, Algar, I don't sleep on him either. Corey Heim, never sleep on Corey. Um, yeah, Corey's probably a good pick there in trucks. Bell, I don't know. This is a Reddick track too, so I'm caught between Bell, Reddick, and Larson there for Homestead. So flip a coin between those three. As far as the Cup Series goes, I used to work at Pizza Hut when I was 18. Oh my God, I saw how that kitchen operated and how that pizza was made. I have never eaten Pizza Hut since. Says OJ and Toothpaste. So good. There you go. There's the inside scoop on the Pizza Hut. You tried the Mountain Dew with alcohol in it. Well, back in the day, yeah, we just poured it in ourselves. So that was like a Southern thing, I guess, or at least where I grew up. You're in the South too, if I remember correctly. But yeah, we did either Crown Royal or another type of whiskey and Mountain Dew, but I haven't tried the actual one in the can yet. Typically, the ones you get in the can are really flat. From what I've tried. Let's see here. My local Golden Corral was the one where the kid was showing all the nasty food on Instagram. Needless to say, I've never eaten at Golden Corral. LOL says say Kyle. So there you go. Looks like we got a super chat here. Brickyard Brickhead. Something we said made him laugh. So appreciate you there, Brickhead. Glad we could bring a little laughter to your day here. Dirty Def, I saw that too. Says OJ, Golden Corral is let down. I went to it last week, and no more mini steak burgers. Dirty Def, I've had the Mountain Dew with alcohol in it. I haven't tried it though. It kind of scared to have a Monster with alcohol or Mountain Dew or with alcohol. Sounds like a bad idea. There was one Pizza Hut in Missouri that still serves the original ingredients, and I've always wanted to go. Okay, so maybe we'll find that one. Ram Truck sponsor the Pat McAfee show. Hey, there you go. Anyone that comes through Indiana, you have to try Pizza King Pizza. I've heard of Pizza King Pizza, so I think they've been on like a TV show. Pizza King Pizza, never heard of it, says OJ and Toothpaste. I hope if Logano wins the championship again, that he does the longest, most obnoxious burnout ever. Well, I think that award goes to Kyle Larson when he went all the way around. I think it was Martinsville, and I think he also did it at Wilkesboro. He went all the way around the track doing the drift burnout. I miss the old Domino's before they changed it about 15 years ago. Yeah, yeah. I like Domino's now though. So I don't of the regular chains. Domino's is probably my second favorite. Papa John's is my go-to. Is Hunt Brothers pizza the best in the world? I don't know. If you have to eat something, I guess you can get some calories there. But I would put Hunt Brothers right there with Pizza Inn. I might have to put them in the same vein. Sorry, Rosie, I do not like Pizza Inn. Let's see. The Apple Crown goes down easy, says one wise guy. Yeah, for sure. I actually had some of that at Martinsville post race. Aloha BB Moonshine, says Dennis Gillespie. Aloha Dennis Gillespie, and aloha to your moonshine as well, my friend. My wife picked up the hard Mountain Dew. The original flavor was pretty good, but the others I would pass on. So okay, if you get it, go with the OG flavor, according to Say Kyle, and Say Kyle is good. Can you imagine if Larson finished as second in these behind him in points of the playoffs? That would be pretty crazy. I have thought about that scenario, and that's a bummer. But it is the format we have. Have you heard of Mountain Dew? We'll do a revamp of their logo next year. I haven't heard that, but hopefully they don't. Or if they do, it's not anything crazy. Apple Town is good, says OJ and Toothpaste. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. I remember in elementary school, if you read a certain amount of minutes, you would get a gift certificate. Yep. Pizza Hut Book It. It was called Book It. And not only did you get a free personal pan pizza, but on occasion, like I remember when The Land Before Time came out, you could also get like a little hand puppet or something with the Book It Club deal. So I've got one of those hand puppets somewheres around here. Let's see. I gotta go. Hey everybody. Good night, Lovey Barkley. Hope you have a good one, my friend. Papa John's is my favorite too. Out of fast food pizza, I love the garlic dipping sauce. That's kind of what puts it over the top for me. That, and they also have a stuffed crust. Oh, there you go, pepperoni stuffed crust. Let's go. Says OJ and toothpaste. So yeah, we're on the same boat there. If you go to the Midwest, try Casey's. Indeed, you got to try Casey's. Everybody has told me that. I need to try that. Always slandering Little Caesars. Says Rosie. I did the ad read for him though. I said pizza. So there you go. I gave him a little plug there. Let's see, wasn't it called Dushine? I think Dushine was the OG name of it. Mike's Hard Lemonade, I bet, is not made with fresh lemonade. Stan Lemons says OJ and toothpaste. I'm gonna go with you and say that is probably not fresh lemons in that particular Mike's Hard Lemonade. Right, T Van, Pizza King in Indy is hard to beat. Let's see, it will be rebranded using the '90s Mountain Dew logo. Says Chrome Diesel. Okay, so actually, I'm good with that then. If we're, as long as we're taking it back to old school, like the old school stuff looks to me, from my eye, looks better. But I've got the nostalgia wrapped into it, so it is what it is. Will Larson take over the chase for most popular? Danielle Trotta said the crowd around Larson was bigger than anyone by far at Vegas. I don't know. It's going to be hard to beat the entire state of Georgia voting for Chase Elliott. So I don't know. Maybe get the entire state of California to vote for Larson is the only way to do it. Let's see. Think it looks better. It will actually say Mountain Dew now instead of Mountain Dew. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they're bringing the actual text back. I'm with you, say Kyle. Okay, that's what's up. Kyle Bush tried Casey's Pizza last year. Indeed, he did. I know Casey's also Chrome D. Says T Van. Little Caesars is the worst pizza ever. I don't know how that place stays in business. Says OJ and toothpaste because it's very affordable. It's very affordable. That's why they stay in business. So they have Donato's around there. Says they're diff. We don't have a Donato's, but the Red Robin serves Donato's pizza. I don't know how they work that out. If it's like maybe the same company owns them, but I have had Donato's pizza at a Red Robin. Oddly enough, Brad Keselowski, I believe, has Casey's Pizza sponsorship this year. It says in between the lanes. Hey, BB from Daytona Beach. We have a good place, Marco's Pizza, which is pretty good. We have a Marco's up here too. They have a buffet, or they used to have a buffet when I worked in the mountains in Boone. It was really close to the Ford dealership where I worked, so we went there from time to time. So they have Donato's around there. Not necessarily in name, but they do have like a way to get it to you. Let's see. California don't California won't unite for anything, says wise guy. Kyle Bush had KC sponsorship last year, says Chrome. Red Robin, yum, says in between the lanes. You can't afford pizza, get some Sam's Club, LOL, says Chrome. I mean, if you go to Sam's Club, you got to get that dog in you, man. Like, it's hard to beat the hot dog deal at Sam's Club. It gets no cheaper than that. But yeah, the pizza at Sam's Club also very affordable. Red Robin versus BJ's where Brew House. What's better? Oh, I don't know. I can't say. I've been to a BJ's, but I can't even remember what I ate because I think I just got appetizers and beer. So I don't know. Flip a coin. I did see. Speaking of Costco, someone was talking about Sam's Club, but speaking of Costco, Costco apparently has a beer now, and that's been like circulating on social media. So Costco Light, or Kirkland Light, I should say. Kirkland Light is a beer now. So that's gonna be something we investigate next as well. I've had a Little Caesars gift card in my wallet for 2 years. Pizza is so bad I won't even eat it for free. Says like this, like that's going hard, my friend. Tavern style is pretty good. Still never had legit Chicago deep dish. Says Dirty Duff. I can't say that I've had legit because I made it myself. So I guess I haven't had it from Chicago, but I've had deep dish pizza that I made myself in a Chicago style. So I don't know if that counts. I don't know. I don't know. That Costco slice is pretty greasy. Says OJ and toothpaste. Frodo Pizza in Greenville, South Carolina is awesome. So I'll put that one on the list because I'm going to make a few trips to South Carolina. So maybe I'll be able to slip to Greenville to check that one out. Costco pizza better than Sam's pizza, but I prefer Sam's overall. You guys remember Sabaro? Sabaro pizza used to be my favorite. If you're going to get Sabaro, was outstanding. Oh my goodness, this was the bomb. I feel like they were at every mall and every airport. Let's see. OJ and toothpaste laughing my butt off at like dislike. I like BJ's. Oh wait, I meant oh wait, y'all. I meant the restaurant. Says Shy. I got you, my friend. I see what you did there. Jackpot for Costco customers. Affordable beer. Says Chrome Diesel. Has anyone had Hulk Hogan's American beer? I didn't even know he had it. So there you go. I'll have to find that one as well. I need to try Stone Cold's as well. We actually had a local Chick-fil-A. Says T Van. Where's your next road trip? Probably Martinsville, if I'm guessing. Let's see. And then after that, it will be several trips to South Carolina for a thing I'm working on. Hassan Reddick agreed to a deal with the Jets after all the contract drama is in between the lanes. T Van just opened. Sbarro is so good. I agree. Says OJ and Toothpaste. I used to love that place, man. Still shop at the one Sbarro will have around there in Huntsville Mall. Still good if you can find it. Says Dirty Deaf. Sbarro pizza is still available. French bread slices. BB, do a road trip to Alaska. I don't know about all that, my friend. That would be a wild one. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. My local mall used to have Sbarro. I think it's gone. Yeah, I can't think of one near me right now off the top of my head, but I'm sure there is one. Costco has them, says one wise guy. Sbarro is nasty. I live in New Jersey where we have real pizza, says Escobar. Well, yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, you live in New York, so New York is very peculiar about their pizzas. But we're talking about chain pizzas. Obviously, everybody has a local place that's got way better pizza than any chain. So that's for sure, for sure. We're not arguing that at all, my friend. But that is the most New York thing of all time, my dude, or New Jersey thing of all time, I should say. As soon as pizza gets mentioned, it sucks. It's better. It's better here. That is the most New York, New Jersey thing of all time. So I'm gonna give you a fist bump for that, my friend. We're the same way in North Carolina about barbecue. When anybody talks about barbecue, we're like, oh man, that's not real barbecue. You need to have vinegar based North Carolina style, or the stuff they serve from Lexington on. Their version of barbecue, which isn't really barbecue because it's not vinegar based. But yeah, we do the same thing with barbecue, my dude. Let's see. Osabar is still a thing at several plazas along toll roads at Indiana, Ohio, and Connecticut. New York does have the best pizza, says OJ. But are the bagels any good? Says one wise guy. The bagels are good because of the water. The water in New York makes the bagels good. Favorite slice, BB? Of all time, there's a place, and I always forget the name of it. It's in Indianapolis, and it's man, it's right near the stadium. Hold on, let me answer these, and then I'm going to look up the name of that place. I've used Uno Chicago Pizza Bar and Grill. Pizza Hut is the best chain American pizza, says Escobar. So let me look this place up because I always forget the name of it, and I want to give them a shout out because this is the best pizza I've ever eaten as far as a restaurant goes, and it's in Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, so we're gonna have to find it on Google Maps here. I give up. I'm gonna have to look it up later. I can't do it now. But let's see here. Escobar, you're tripping, says OJ and Toothpaste, talking about Pizza Hut being the best chain. I always go for a buffalo slice. Says in between the lanes, the magic mushroom, mellow mushroom. So yeah, mellow mushroom's really good as far as around here. As far as being a chain and being around here, I think they started off in Georgia, but we got several here in North Carolina. Mellow mushroom's pretty good. If you go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, they got one near the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Check that one out. T Van saying Shapiro's. It's not Shapiro's. It's just a one restaurant. And it's the name of the streets in Indianapolis. I've put it in the Discord before. I just can't. I never remember the name of it because I've only eaten there one time. But the pizza was so freaking good. Let's see. Sounds like a fun trip, says one wise guy. You can't go wrong with the Totino's party pizza, especially after a night of bar hopping, says Glen Park. LOL. Yeah, I mean, Totino is known for the pizza rolls as well, so hard to pass those up. Chain wise, I'm going Domino's. I worked there, seen how the sausage was made, as they say. No problems eating there, says Say Kyle. Domino's is pretty clean because you can actually see how they're making the pizza and stuff like that. So I'm with you on that. Old Town Pizza. If anyone ever comes to Auburn, California, Pizza Hut has the best thin crust. Their New York style is okay, says Escobar. So Escobar, obviously a thin crust man, which checks out regionally. Old Town and Elk Grove too. OJ Firebud says one wise guy. Ask Gordon Ramsay, BB. He will tell you the best pizza. NASCAR Mafia says Chaffee City. I'll have to check out. I'll have to check that out. One wise guy. Stuffed crust pizza will always reign supreme, says Rosie. Hey, there you go. Especially the Papa John's. Papa John's stuffed crust is banging right now. Giordano's says T-Van. DiGiorno, Freshetta, and California Pizza Kitchen when it comes to frozen pizza. I'm going to go Red Baron there, but that's just because I have a predisposition to Red Baron. I don't think it's actually better. I don't know. It just, they used to sponsor a race car, and I'll always remember it. Also like Tombstone. So the cheaper the frozen pizza for me, usually kind of the better. I don't know why. Rosie just likes cheap pizza, says one wise guy. CC's Pizza Buffet ain't too bad, says Glen Park. What about Tony's Frozen Pizza? Tony's is good too. Always a good price. Or Celeste. We don't have Celeste, but we've got Tony's. Tony's, no doubt. Have you ever heard of the song Pizza by the band Attila? Hilarious music video. I wish EB was in here to read this one. I haven't heard that one, but I have to check it out. I have to check it out for sure. Let's see. I'm irritated I can't find this freaking restaurant. Indie Pizza Places near, what is it, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. There we go. Pearl Street Pizzeria and Pub. That's the best one. Best pizza ever, all time in the world is Pearl Street Pizzeria and Pub so far that I've tasted. So it's guess what? It's off of Pearl Street in Indianapolis, but it's really close to Market Square, or not Market Square, but it's really close to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And they've got really good pizza. It's really affordable, and it is as far as it's gone now. It's the best. It's the best pizza that I've ever had. So Pearl Street Pizza. I will take your sponsor money because I love your pizza. So for real this time, I will beg for that sponsor money. Let's see here. Walmart carries the one slice challenge from Barstool. From NASCAR to pizza, nice. Yep. This is what the second hour is always about. It always devolves into some nonsense in the second hour. Red Baron and Tombstone are also good choices. Says in between the lanes. I ain't got it. So pizza, so cheap pizza it is, says Rosie. Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. BB is Pizza Lunchables the best out of every pizza? Pizza Lunchables is without question probably the worst thing, period, to eat ever of all time. Terrible. It is not good. It's probably a good thing for my health that the local CC's Pizza closed down, mainly due to cinnamon rolls, says Cameron Moss. Hey, there you go. You got to eat it. What's the place that sponsors all the race cars in your class? You got to check them out. Italian Delights. You got to check out Italian Delights Pizza over there in South Boston. They got a really good. Their subs are actually really good. They got a good super sub or something like that with the special sauce or whatever it's called. Ask Austin Thaxton; he'll fill you in on it. It's a good sub. The super chicken sub, I think, is what it's called. Or pizza flavored combo, says OJ. Freshetta pizza is decent. Freshetta's pretty good. I remember Lunchables when I was in elementary school. Ryan Jiblik says, shout out to Red Baron Frozen Pizza and Ken Schrader. There you go, my friend. That's exactly the old Red Baron car that I remember. And I think there was a thing where you could send in enough box tops or whatever, or coupon or whatever on the back of the box. And I think you could get a die cast of that 90 car back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. I'll DM you a link. It's awesome, says Say Kyle. I would do the one bite with Dave Portnoy, but it would have to be a special slice, not a regular cheese slice pizza. Says in between the lanes. Another chain pizza that's good is Johnny's Pizza. So I've never heard of Johnny's Pizza, so that's another one I haven't heard of. I should have wrote these down, but I'm gonna have to go back through here and read them. So there you go. We should have asked a pizza question for the poll. Probably would have got just as much traction. Let's see. I have that diecast you're talking. All right, so I actually remembered something else today. So good on me. Good on me. So yeah, you could back in the day, if you saved enough box tops or whatever, you could get a Ken Schrader diecast number 90, if I'm not mistaken. I do need to go to Italian Delights and ask Andrea when he wants to go toe to toe, since he got the Dawson Celica. Not that I have much to worry about when it comes to him, says Cameron Moss. So there you go, a little Hornets smack talk there from South Boston. From old Cameron Moss. Cameron Moss, a good dude, man. Always doing good things. Had a great season this year too. I'm showing my age, says Ryan. We both are, but it's fun. It's fun. We lived in that era, man. It was such a cool deal that you could send in box tops and stuff. I remember Country Time Lemonade. You could send in and get a Bobby Hamilton car back in the day. Neil Bonnet too, but I don't think they made that one because of what happened. But yeah, there was always all these cool promotions. Cheerios always had all the race cars in there. It was pretty cool. Uh, for those of you in Daytona Beach, you should know about the pizza place on the boardwalk is awesome, says Glenn Park. I have to check that one out next time I go down there. I had the slowest driver delivery time at Pizza Hut out of all the employees, says OJ and Toothpaste. Hey, you're a winner on Earth 2. Earth 2, a winner in the Pizza Hut challenge, OJ and Toothpaste. When I was in high school in Tampa, Florida, we used to have Papa John's pizza in the cafeteria every day, says Escobar. Oh, that's awesome, dude. We didn't have any of that. I think I remember when I got to Appalachian State, we had a Wendy's in there and we had a McAllister's. So that was the only cafeteria where I actually saw a chain restaurant in there. As far as schools that I went to, Toyota sweep at Homestead is my prediction. Heim, Creed, and Truex Jr. That could happen. I've seen stranger things happen. Do you remember the one for Win Dixie and Mark Martin? It was huge for me in Raleigh. I don't remember that one. I remember Mom and Pops had ham, and you could get some trading cards for Dale Jr. But I don't remember. I don't remember the Wendy's, the Win Dixie promo. We went to Win Dixie a lot though. It's either Win Dixie or Food Line. It's pretty much back then where we shopped. Kroger. My mom was a big Kroger fan. But yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the. I would have remembered it too because I love that diecast. I actually got the Racing Champions version, but I never. I always like the special editions. So yeah, I don't remember that one, but I would have if I'd seen it. What does And they also had the Chex Colas. I think they had Chex Colas or whatever at Winn Dixie, and there was like Mark Martin on the bottle. I think I remember those though. What beef does TJ Majors have with Joey? I don't know. I don't know what went down. I don't know what went down between them. LeBron James and Bronny James make their season debut together tonight. All right, good on them. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool deal, whether you like LeBron or not. It is pretty cool to see a father and son play together. So that's always kind of a cool thing. Let's see. We had Taco Bell burritos at DeLand High School, says Glenn Parks. Hey, there you go. Old DeLand, Florida. I think I had a buddy that went there. I might be thinking of somebody else. I don't know. I have to look that one up. All right. Looks like we've reached the end of the chat. Final poll results: 65% saying no. Frankie Muniz will not win a truck race next season. 35%, of course, saying yes, with 98 votes before we ended. All right. Here come the Diddy jokes here at the very end. You can read them. I'm not going to read them. I just got Malcolm in the Middle ad, says I like this. Like, hey, there you go. So we're putting in work to get Malcolm in the Middle back on there. All right. That's all for this one. I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace.